There's quite a bit of Tesla stock news today, and Tesla stock went up 5% today, although these news stories that we have today, I don't think are moving the stock, so it's a bit of a mystery. Why is Tesla stock up today? But first, multiple breaking news accounts on Twitter posted this picture saying that there was an explosion near the Pentagon in the United States. And many people actually got tricked by this, and the stock market actually dropped a little bit as well temporarily. Elon Musk has warned us about the dangers of AI. Imagine what a video would have done. With AI, soon you will be able to generate videos of an explosion and showing everything. This is just a picture. I mean, you could have done this with Photoshop, but with AI, just so much easier. You don't even need to understand how Photoshop works. Now let's go through every Tesla stock news story. A second cargo ship from China is on its way to Canada, loaded with Tesla Model 3s and Ys that were built in Giga Shanghai. And the ship is headed to Vancouver, which is where I live. The first ship already arrived, and you can see all these cars from the first ship. The second ship is estimated to arrive on June 3rd in Canada, so all of the deliveries from that ship should be finished before the quarter ends. I saw some people being confused about this and asking, why is Tesla doing this? Wouldn't it just make more sense to make the cars in Fremont and then just ship them to Canada, which would be a much smaller distance between the factory and the customers? But here's the thing. Tesla generally wants to sell all of the vehicles made in the US to the US customers because these customers get huge incentives from the US government. Canada also has a federal incentive of 5,000 Canadian dollars, but there's no requirement for these vehicles to be made in Canada or the US. In one of the earnings calls, Elon made it pretty clear that Giga Shanghai has the best cost structure, so probably these vehicles cost less to make than they do in Fremont or Texas. Shipping costs, of course, also have come down by a lot, so that makes sense. And the build quality from Giga Shanghai is actually real good. I personally would prefer a car from Giga Shanghai over a vehicle made in Fremont, California. Also, generally speaking, there is quite a bit of demand in the US for Tesla vehicles. In China, the demand is perhaps a little bit lower, so it does make sense for Giga Shanghai to export, but you can't really export these vehicles to the US because of the tariffs, but you can export these vehicles to Canada. So then the factories are more effectively utilized, Giga Shanghai is fully utilized, and the American factories are also fully utilized. Looking at Tesla Megapacks, we have good news. Megapack backlog now appears to have stretched to 2025. This is despite production growing exponentially. It will take for Wall Street a little while to really realize how big of a deal the Tesla energy business is going to be. Roland made one of the best charts ever so far for European sales. The number that you see here below, 137, this would be growth that we need to achieve to be in line with Tesla's target of 1.8 million deliveries. Roughly, that would be 37% growth overall for global sales. 100% would be equal to last year's sales, and 137% would be equal to 37% growth. And you can see in red where Tesla would have to be to match year-to-date sales of last year. So you see a few countries are lagging behind: Germany, the UK, and Switzerland. All other countries are ahead of where Tesla was last year, year-to-date. Check out this Tesla advertisement, for which Tesla did not pay, because this is a car rental company advertising with a Tesla vehicle in the advertisement. Omar is posting interesting findings. Drivers spend 8 minutes at the gas station on average, but it takes an average of 12 minutes to drive there and get back on your route. Time you save charging at home if you have a charger at home. It does depend on where you live. For example, in LA, the average is about 28 minutes. Wow. If you refuel once every week, that's about 17 hours per year. So unless you go on road trips super often, this does make sense. Many people don't charge at superchargers almost ever because they charge at home. Tesla may use this as a big selling point in their ads later. There's this new poll that shows that Elon is the most favored political figure in the US. But because Elon was not born in the US, he can't run for president, although he could run for a governor of any state, really. I don't think he will ever do that though. The percentage of vehicles offered below the sticker price is up 60% since December. I think this is for the US. Inventory is perhaps still creeping up a little bit, although largely it has stabilized, but the prices are coming down. As you can see, the number of vehicles sold at the sticker price is coming down fast. And the number of vehicles sold below MSRP is increasing quickly, but there are still some cars sold above the sticker price. So it's not just Tesla cutting prices. And maybe you won't hear about other automakers lowering prices because these price adjustments happen at the dealerships. And even owners of car dealerships drive Teslas, although they don't want you to know about it. You gotta see this one. Troy posted all of the data that Ford provides about its US sales, and then all of the data that Tesla provides about its US sales data. Tesla only releases global sales numbers, not local sales numbers. And there's a reason, because there's a lot of FUD about Tesla, and Tesla doesn't really want maybe everyone to know about these things, which to some degree it makes sense, although for many Tesla stock investors, it would be nice to see more data from Tesla being provided. Panasonic, which supplies a lot of batteries to Tesla, has committed to increasing its production by 4 times by March 2031. And they are focusing on North America because, you know, the incentives make the most sense here. Tesla Megapack account shows off a new site. Sam Kors, who is an analyst at ARK Invest, posted this chart showing how many pickup trucks other manufacturers sell in the US. And if Tesla only sold 250,000 pickup trucks, that would make Tesla number 4. But I think with the Cybertruck, there is a huge potential possibility that it will also pull in a lot of buyers that have never really bought trucks before. Corey from Monroe and Associates posted this: "We are nearly finished with our Ioniq 5 teardown and report. I would argue that the closest to Tesla is Hyundai. There are some tensions in the market because of a US debt ceiling. The House Speaker today said we don't have a deal on the debt ceiling. It is unlikely that the US would choose to default on its debt, but according to Goldman Sachs, if it did happen, it would happen on June 8th or June 9th. And if it did happen, I think we would have a huge buying opportunity." We just learned that the new Elon Musk interview with the Babylon Bee is coming out specifically next week. You have to love the community notes. Dan O'Dowd, who is an enemy of Tesla at this point, he says that full self-driving is responsible for people dying. And then community notes dropped some facts. After 180 million miles on FSD, there have been 0 reported accidents where people died. Every accident has been determined to be the fault of the driver and not the fault of Tesla. Elon Musk says that we can finally relax now because BBC has unveiled BBC Verified to address the growing threat of disinformation and build trust with audiences through transparency. So naturally, I would like to ask one of the BBC reporters who did not answer this question. And I really would like to know, do you like BBC? I think Elon saying we can relax now, I think that's him being a bit sarcastic. Elon Musk got some blowback from Taiwan after saying there is a certain inevitability that China will integrate it. That's very nicely put. Integrate it, which is what Russia is trying to do to Ukraine right now. Russia is trying to integrate Ukraine into Russia. It appears that Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos hate each other, but Jeff Bezos just got engaged. So that seems newsworthy. Seems like Jeff is in a fairly good shape here. The Tesla economist says that Tesla is the only company that manufactures self-driving cars. Sure, the software may not be perfect yet, but the statement is still true, he says. I personally wouldn't call Tesla cars self-driving cars, but I would call them beta self-driving cars. Tesla economist also says it won't be profits that will take Tesla stock to the next all-time high. It will be the belief in the story. When Tesla stock hits $400 again, it won't be because profits have doubled. It will because the PE ratio has doubled. But you never know. If Tesla really starts to advertise hard and there's a whole lot more people that want to buy Teslas, there's going to be a backlog, or Tesla will increase prices, which I think is more likely that Tesla will increase prices, which would create huge profits, which could double Tesla's earnings. And the simplest way to increase the shareholder value is to increase the company's earnings. In this video, I talk more about Tesla starting to advertise. My name is Matt. Just like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.